on YouTube? It's your boy, the Memphis Accelerate, welcoming you back to check this out. The show we take a look at every deck we want to take a look at, being a troll deck, rogue deck, casual deck, or meta deck. We have ourselves a good old time playing it. Today, everybody, happy to say that we're finally taking a look at the new Constellar support. Something I didn't think the Constellars were going to get, but I'm happy that they did. So we've got ourselves a slew of new Satellarknights, and we're going to be doing much as they've always wanted to do, and that's exceed summon out the wazoo. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So of course we've got all the cards we ever want in the world. We're going to be showing off the combos and the wombos, the what do's and the what not do's. And we'll have ourselves a good old time summoning all these Constellars, going into the new Ptolemy Omega 7, all the good stuff. So of course, if you want the whole deck profile, it's going to be at the end after we have ourselves some nice duels on yugioh Pro. If you want the YRK file, it's going to be in our Discord, which is linked in the description. But for now, let's go ahead into the action. Don't forget to have all the good buttons blood help out the channel. Without further ado, let's get right into the action and show off what these Constellars can do. Alrighty, everybody, it's time for our first opponent. Another day and another card game. We do like to go first in this deck, and thankfully we are going to get to go first here. It's something you really want to do with this deck. And our opening hand's pretty decent. Pretty decent. It's not perfect by any standard, but it is pretty decent. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to start with our Satellarknight Vega. One of the original starters. I summon this card out. I can summon a Satellarknight from my hand except for itself. This will let me get started with all my Exceed summoning and things. He'll Dominus Impulse me, which is unfortunate for him, because I also happen to have Constellar, our continuous spell, which lets me just summon a monster anyway. I was hoping to save it, but I'd rather use it now. Well, we'll go ahead and use our Satellarknight Ukulele Man. He is basically the foolish barrel of this archetype. I'm going to ditch a monster to the grave. In this case, we want to send out terrain. Let me double check one quick thing if I remember my cards. Where is that button? There it is. Now I'm just going to send out terrain just because he's the guy who revived from the graveyard. That's kind of his whole shtick. Let's go ahead and keep going. Our whole shtick is to go into Exceeds, and a whole bunch of them too. So we're going to start off with this dude. Tellarknight Constellar Caduceus. When he gets summoned out, I can target a Constellar and get it back to my hand. Which, you know, we're just going to chain this anyway. I'm just going to bring back Terrain just to show this is what we're trying to do here. So Terrain can revive himself when we summon out one of our Constellars. He also can pop stuff on the board, which is a really neat effect if you happen to have, you know, your opponent's got an established board already. Well, that's neither here nor there. Let me think about this. Because I can copy the effect of any of my Constellars. I think so, yes. We're going to go ahead and use Caduceus' effect. We're going to ditch one of our casters, which is a bit of a steep cost, but we do need to do a little bit extra here. So caster here can summon out any of our Constellars, and we're going to get this guy, Tellarknight Stygian. He's part of the new lineup along with caster, and when he gets summoned out, I can send it, or I search out any Tellarknight or Constellar, and in this particular case, I'm going to say we'll get our Caduceus, so we can get even more summoning on the board, because that's what you want to do in your Constellars. You just want to keep special summoning out the wazoo. Do it as much as humanly possible. And we're going to go for Caduceus here, and he's going to get me another Constellar for next turn. Now, we're next going to go into another one of our rank 4s, because we're going to just do that as many times as we'd like. And let me think about that. Oh, there's so many options and things. So many optional things, you know what I mean? Well, I'm trying to think of which direction I want to go. So I think we're going to go for... because I could go for Delphoros. Let's see. Then I can almost on a light monster. I need 2 Tellarknights. Alright. I can go for this. So we're going to go for Delphoros. We're going to use Stygian, who counts as 2 materials, as material for an Exceed summon. As so. And we'll use Caduceus. We'll leave Train on the board. We're going to search out our boy Delphoros. He protects all of our rank 500 Tellarknights from being targeted by stuff. And this is going to let me search out a monster such as Altair, and then I get another normal summon. This is very nice indeed. And I know some of you are going to be wondering, Memphis, why aren't you playing Ptolemy with all this? I really just don't want to zone lock people or turn lock them. I'm not playing Arcana Force here. But we're going to get ourselves our 3 monsters on the board. We're going to make our first big boy, which is our Balthamus. Going to put him on the board here, turns everything into dark monsters. And then we're going to activate the effect of our Constellar, transforming Caduceus and into whoever I really like. I could go to Omega, but that's for later. That's more of a next turn thing. For now, we're going to go into our boy Constellar Diamando. And with that, I think let's see, anything else I can do here? Actually, yes, there is. I'm actually going to get rid of Deltros because I just realized I made a slight miscalculation there. But not a big one. Not a huge issue. But we should be good here. Be A-okay from this turn forward. I just really needed to get a monster off the board because I put just a little bit overboard there. But now I want to go for my Apopus Snake. Because now I've got my Apopus Snake and I can get my other snake onto the board. So I'll have a couple of Omni Negates depending on what my opponent's up to. Which will also build me bodies on the board, which is one of the main things. I really wanted to go with the Apopus Snakes in here. You know, a little bit of interruption on my opponent, but at the same time, I'm going to be able to use this to build up bodies. So what do we... Oh, Ashened. I see. The Ashened ones. Interesting indeed. Let me think about this. Let me think about that. We'll see, because the thing about having Balthamus as well as Diamond on the board is that all my opponent's monsters will become Dark attribute, and if my opponent uses a Dark monster's effect, I can negate it by attaching from Diamando. So what do we got? Shaman of this is the one that recovers, so that's not a problem. No. No, it's the other one that would be more problematic. That one. The Priestess of the Ashen City. So we're going to go ahead and negate the Priestess, because I do not trust her. We're going to go ahead and detach Caduceus. Doesn't really matter who we detach right this here second. We should be A-okay. Unless he's already got Vitos, which could be a problem, but I don't know if he do or not. Don't think so. But we should be... Oh, he does. Oh, no. Oh, wait. That's a Dark Monster's effect. And Diamond is not a once per turn. Not even a once per chain, for that matter. So we can negate Vitos and the Shaman at the same time. And my opponent's... Okay, well... There you go. That's how powerful Diamond is. That at least shows off this is what Diamond's about. And this is one of our basic combos. My next plan, if all things had gone exactly as I was hoping, I was really hoping to get 2 of my level 6s on the board. I could have gone for Ptolemy M7, linked everyone else for Megaclops. Then I would have had enough names in the graveyard to really make use of our Ptolemy Omega 7's effect. But let's go ahead for duel number 2. Try to focus on getting out the new big bad boss monster. But this is the nice little combination of these two that really cements how powerful Satellarknights can be. So let's go ahead for duel number 2 and show off more the deck can do. Alrighty, second opponent. Let's go and do it again. Paper, you fail me. Alright, well, regardless of that... Ooh, I don't like seeing the lack of an extra deck. There's only like 2 decks that do that. Although this could be something different. Potentially. No, it's an antimatter deck, as one would expect. I was just thinking it might be... I don't know. It's going to be something with mother flipping... What's it called? What's that archetype called? The Monarchs and things? I was thinking it was Monarchs, but yeah, this is a barrier... Wait a minute. Oh my, he's playing Barrier Statue. And all this is not against Satellarknights. Okay, this is hilarious. Because normally against certain decks this would be a pain. But we're playing on light monsters, so it doesn't mean anything that he's playing this. Nothings. It means nothing. Yeah, he can activate his traps. Big whoop. Big whoop. Big whoop. I'm going to go and get Caster. We should be good. And then we have to return one of our cards to the deck, in this case. I guess Althea, because I'm going to ditch him to the graveyard either way. So we'll activate our Foolish Burial, and we'll see how this goes. It's really going to depend on like what sort of obnoxious traps and things my boy's got. We'll find out. Let's go for triple Zets. I actually could just steal this. I could steal the Barrier Statue. Just to have another body on the board, because I'm not restricted by this. I can just steal his Barrier Statue and use it for my rank 4s. I love it. Alright, let's go ahead and summon out our boy Caster. I'm going to go and use Caster's effect to search us another card. And see where this is going. Yep, let's get out our Tower Knight Sigil. There we go. Get that boy on the board to search me a Caduceus. And then Altrain. We're going to leave Altrain in the graveyard for now. For now, he will be fine. For now, he is good. We don't need to summon him out just yet. But soon. Very soon we shall. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start by summoning out our Caduceus. And I can't believe, like, the one barrier statue this guy decides to go with is the one that will not help him in any way, shape, or form. It's funny to me because, you know, these anti-meta boys want to just, like, lock me out of my plays. And then I'm like, I don't care about your nonsense. Let me just double check. Some of these are more restrictive than others. Some require specifically Satellarknights. Some specifically require Constellars. That's why you got to be careful about these sorts of things. So we're going to go ahead for Godusius. We were going to activate, let's see. It's always that button. Let's see. So we're not going to activate any of that. Well, not yet. Soon, though. I want to summon for what's your name? Alterain. Oh, you're playing the Snake Boy too. Okay. Okay. Okay, I am also playing the Snake Boy. If it wasn't for how toxic you're trying to be, I would actually be on your side here, my friend. I would, funnily enough. Alrighty, so what we're doing... Oh yeah, we're going to go for Deltros, because this guy, again, counts as 2 materials. So we're going to go for Constellar Deltros. And let's go ahead and activate Althea's effect. See what happens here. Bring back the boy. And bait out some of the... Okay, so we already know what this is. Let's hit everything else. Let's hit every other card. I mean, he'll probably stop this with a Poopus, but might as well give it a shot. Because this is non-targeted, so this would stop my Tellarknight, but I might as well give it a shot. I don't see a reason not to try this. Alright, we'll see how this goes. Because normally I would love to just, you know, link everything off. Go into my big boy here. What do we got? Ah, Apocalypse. I see. Let's see. Target a true Dragon King, destroy, tag defense, everybody gets halved. Cool. Cool. Fancy. We gotta negate everybody, like that will do you any good, my man. I mean, does it do him any good? It does a little bit of good, I suppose. Just a little bit. Let's go ahead and summon that Satellarknights. I say summon, but it kind of is like a summoning, even though it's a spell. Because it does summon a monster. And we've got Ukulele Man. So let's go ahead and ditch another Alt-Train for later, I think. Let's see. Alt-Terrain. Ditch him into the graveyard. He's Alt-Terrain. Let's see. Who else do we want to go into? All monsters become dark monsters. Do we just want to do the same thing is the thing? I would love to go for M7. And funnily enough, if I still had Cadian on the board, I could go into... Well, I could go into Pleiades. So I wouldn't be able to do that part. But I can make Pleiades, so let's see how this goes. We're going to go and go for our boy Balthamus, because why the heck not? Nice big boy on the board. And I don't have any other cards in the hand, so I can't use his other effect. So what else can this dude do? Let's see here. Let's see. Very cool, very nice. What can I say? Yeah, I can overlay Ptolemy onto anybody I'd like. It's just not a good time to do that. So let's go ahead and put Godusius to bed here. And we're going to bring out... Thing is, if I play these, that's like a bad idea. I would rather... Because he can distribute some of the darn thing back is the problem. So let's go ahead and Constellar Diamond. Because he's nice and big. And we'll see where this here goes. We will see where it goes. Let's see, let me double check something. Negate effectively up to the number of other... Oh, it's you control, okay. I was about to say, would it count my opponent's stuff? It sadly does not. So let's just go into the battle phase and see where this goes. So let's beat over... Go for a Popus. We'll start with that guy. I don't trust him. Now, he can have my attack at any point by getting rid of True Draco Knight, which he's going to do now. Okay. Alright, well that will protect your monster. That is true. Popping the trap to weaken my monsters. Popping another monster. Okay. I mean, you might think that that's not a good thing, and technically speaking, it isn't. Technically, it's not a good thing. However, the more of these guys are in my graveyard, the better things are going to go. Because eventually, our main goal is to go... where did he go? Yeah, this is the new guy. Constellar Ptolemy Omega 7. He's really, really big. I can summon and use Constellars or Constellars that I control to summon out during the main phase number 2. And we'll have 7 or more Satellarknights in the grave, or banished, with different names. He gets really, really big, and he's unaffected by everything. So, with that in mind, let me think if I want to do... It's too early to do that, though, isn't it? Like, I could do it. Let me see, how many Satellarknights do we have in the graveyard? 1, 2, 3. We have 3. Too early. Too early right now. Working on it, though. Working on it. Yeah, his monsters... Unfortunately, because of Apocalypse... Unfortunately, because of that, my monsters are, like, permanently weakened, which isn't necessarily good. Probably could have made M7 there, but it's neither here nor there. I'm just going to go for Apopus the Serpent myself. I'm just going to get that going and see where this goes in a bit, because he still has Dynamite Draco Fighter. So we can get another one of his true Draco traps, that's true. But I can negate one of them, if need be. Alright, so I'll go ahead and set up my own Apopuses. And funnily enough, I'm also, if this guy does get sent to the grave by whatever, I can get the other Apopus Snake, which is, in fact, a level 4 monster. So we're all set. We're all set for these. So let's go ahead and... Too early to play a Apopus Trap. Now, he can beat up over my monsters. Doesn't really matter too much. Not especially. All that really matters right now is getting another rank 4 on the board that I can turn into big guy. That's all that matters. Because once everybody hits the graveyard, I should, in theory, have most everything I need to make my unstoppable boss monster that I don't think this deck has an out to. Could be wrong. Could be right. I'm not entirely certain. It's tricky to get all 7 numbers, or rather, all 7 Satellarknights in the graveyard with different names. But thankfully, our Exceed's helping this. Alright, take a little smidge of damage, not really a problem, because this guy's barrier statues will not help him. His barrier statues are too small. Alright. Apopus. Good. I'm fine with my monsters getting run over, it's all good in the hood. Apopus, go right ahead, get rid of him. I'll get myself another trap monster. Indeed. That's right, because I'm playing the OG, baby. I'm playing the OG. Alright. So let's see where this is going to go from here. Because, yeah, he still has Apocalypse. But this only pops monsters. So the truth is, I just need something like Altair. Vega. Not exactly what I was hoping for. Might have to wait a turn on this one. Hard to say. Yeah, I'm just going to have to wait a turn, much as I don't really want to give my opponent a turn to do stuff. I can at least survive this turn no matter what, because I have enough monsters on the board to make that work. Barring him having, I don't know, another Apopus on the board, which could be possible. It wouldn't necessarily be good, but we haven't many other options. Unfortunately, okay, let's see, attempting to end the main phase. Activate Apopus. Just to have my boy on the board. Abba Chumba. Because really right now I'm just trying to, like, keep myself alive right this second. That's all I really... Oh, I should have played Apopus again. It doesn't matter. I'll still have life points. That's the only thing I'm really mad at right now. I just need to have a life points on the board. Life points and... Well, yeah, another monster. And yes, I know I do have Altrain in the graveyard. That's my backup. I would rather have... I don't know, I'm hoping to have some other monster to summon off Vega as an emergency precaution. That's really my main shtick here. Alright, here we go. Ooh, hello. Hey, Caster. Nice to see you. Oh, Lord, I wish this guy counted as a Satellarknight. That would have been so much better. Let me tell you, it would have been so good. Let me think about this. Who do we have left in the Constellar? I just need one dude, so I'm all good. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to summon out our boy Constellar. He's going to activate his effect. And... Altrain should be... Constellar is special... Oh, right, it's only when they're special summoned. Oh, boy. Okay, it's all good. He didn't have anything to stop this. So that's going to be lights out for this dude in a minute. So we're going to go ahead for Stygian. All's good in the hood. Alright, get all the monsters on the board. And should I go for Altrain? No, I'll leave him in the graveyard for now. I think we'll be fine. Okay, so Stygian's going to get me another monster. Let's go ahead and get a Caduceus just to get him going. You know, that's what we like to do. Just like to get a Caduceus, just in case we need the guy. So, let me think. Can only summon Light Darks? Yep, that's true. We're going to summon out our boy Caduceus. Abba Chamba. And then, nope, not yet. All's good. See, this is targets, right? Targets a monster, destroys it. That is true. Alright, so let's go for Deltaros. Because why the heck not? I can count this guy's 2 materials, so might as well. So we're going to go ahead and overlay these 2. Bring out Tellarknight Constellar Deltaros. And then we're going to revive our boy Eltrain. That way he can pop one of my opponent's face down cards. You know, interrupt whatever nonsense he's got hiding there. Chumba. And then Eltrain doing his thing. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, you. I don't know what you are, but I don't trust you. It could be that this is the right... Who knows? At this point, all up in the air, I'm just going to hit one of these. Goes in... Okay. Probably could have hit the other card, but whatever. Whatever! Doesn't matter. Let's go for a Caduceus effect. Get another my Constellars. See, this is the power of the Constellars. They got some comeback right here. So, having done all of this, let me think. I could go for Little Knight, which would not be a bad idea. Better make my decision quick. I'm running low on time. So, I think what we're actually going to go ahead and do here is... I don't want to make Little Knight because that could lead to some problems. I'm just going to hard make number 102 because why the heck not? I'll summon out this boy, Star Seraph Sentry. Because he's nice and big and cool and stuff. And I think that's cool. Alright, what else are you going to do? You going to do something? Is this another Apopa snake and you've been holding on me? Possibly. Don't really have an option, no. So let's go ahead and target our Deltaros. And we're going to turn him into the big bad. Tellarknight Ptolemy Omega 7. And we have all the material, so it's a 5400 beat stick that's immune to everything. Barring him playing Call by the Grave and removing a name from the graveyard. But right now, he's immune to everything. This don't work, that don't work, this sure as heck don't work. So we're sitting pretty good here. Alright, so my boy had the Monarchs erupt. Looks like I'm going to have to do something here, which, unfortunately, yeah, I'm going to have to spin that back. But thankfully, this is going to allow me to finally get over my opponent's nonsensical nonsense. So now, finally, I can start hitting my opponent and do all the damage I need to do. So there we go. Ptolemy Omega 7 takes it. But my opponent, he put in a lot of good effort there. So I wish him a hearty GG. So good on it. That was a lot longer than I would have liked it to be. But we have time for one more duel today. So I'm gonna edit my deck really quick to put it in another Omega 7. And then we'll be here for the third duel. Alright, everybody, it's time for the third and final opponent, the fight and third, as we like to call it. And let's see, we're not going to go first, which is unfortunate. But I have Constellar Pollux, which is nice. I have Stygian, that's cool. We're up against Dragonmaids, which... Dragonmaids are cool. I feel like they really, fell off at one point. But they're still cool. You can still do stuff with them. I mean, it's very linear stuff. It's like make big fusion and sit on big fusion until you make more big fusions and things. But, you know, it works. And they have the other big fusion that goes into the big fusion. Setting all the Sterns in the graveyard to the graveyard. So, we'll see where this is going to go. So, remind me, hey, Chambermaid gets you the fusion spell. I assume you're going to go for the big fusion that goes into the other fusions. Yes. This is how you describe this archetype. There it is. Yeah, this thing. Lady Dragonmaid summons a Dragonmaid from the deck. Let me think. Parlor? Aha. That's what I thought. Alright, because that's just going to set him another Dragonmaid card. So it's going to be either Trap or one of the big dragons. One of the two. I've played Dragonmaids before. It's been a while, but I have played them. Alright, so Dragonmaid changeover. Now we're bringing in Shell, which is his Omni Negation, which is never a good thing to have to deal with an Omni Negation. Especially since I'm not playing like Imperm, which, again, I want to do different things, so no Imperms for me. So yeah, now this is going to do him another Fusion Summon. By shuffling the materials from the Banishment back into the deck. So we can summon another one of these. Huh. That's not exactly something I like to see, because now he's gonna get House Dragonmaid. No, wait, no, that's the other part. Yeah, he gets this thing, so I can't to destroy him with card effects. Not necessarily good, but we'll see how this is gonna go. Let's start off with our 7th attack unit and see if we can bait out a negate. We'll see, because I'm pretty sure he only gets 1 negation. So he has to be very, very careful. So let's go ahead and get Lyra into my hand. And we'll bounce back our other Shiver Champion because I can't really use it. So there you go. And we're gonna summon out. First of all, is Pollux because he can't negate that. That he can't do because this just straight up gives me another normal summon. So we're gonna normal summon Stygian, and then we're gonna activate Stygian's effect. Yeah, that's gonna go because he can negate that, but he can't stop Lyran. Can't stop my girl. There she is. Yeah, because then he gets Housemaid. And if he so basically I have to deal with this outside the battle phase, because I deal with the battle phase, this is a problem, and I don't want to deal with the problem. So let's go for our boy Caduceus and get ourselves another spell. Yeah, I probably could have gotten. That's the thing. I usually get to Satellarknights Constellar first. I could have gotten Skybridge too. That could have also been pretty useful, but it's neither here nor there. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna revive him. Yeah. We'll go for Caduceus. Math in head thinking. The problem is that these things are like huge. And I get destroyed with card. Oh, that's true. This is a tricky one. This is a very tricky one. So I'm thinking we'll start off by going into my boy Caduceus. And I can recover a card, but I'm not going to do that just yet. First, I'm going to activate my Constellars, number 1. This will revive out my boy Stygian. Yeah. Make these level 5. Because we haven't seen our boy play these yet. The OG boss monster, well, kind of the boss monster of Constellars, more or less was the boss monster of Constellars. Anyway, we're going to use his effect, bounce back the Subdivider. Or whatever, however you pronounce that thing's name. Just got to bounce it off of. Oh no, I forgot this done something. No, I completely forgot. Oh no. Well, that's a disaster. I completely forgot how Dragonmaid worked for a second. All right. Frig. Hold on one second. I think I can do something else here. Maybe. I don't know if I can win, but I think I can do something. Let's see. Test material, target monster on the field, return to the hand. I mean, I could at the very least do something. I don't know if it's something good enough to win, but it's certainly enough to put Sheo back into the extra deck again. Regrettably, that's all I can do right now. Regrettably, indeed, I made a slight mistake. I thought I was being clever there for a second, which, to be fair, if it wasn't for Housemaid, that would have been pretty cool. Unfortunately, the fact is, yeah, I think I might have goofed there a bit. Might have goofed just a smidge. Just a smidge. See, that you can't underestimate older archetypes, you know? You don't know when they're going to kick your butt. Alright, okay, you got Chambermaid getting you the thing that makes you bigger. And then, because you have a bunch of monsters, you can recover a card. Get lower bar. Alright, and get the chain. Oh, that's right. He could do that too. And then pop me monster. So I think I might just be dead to... Yeah, I'm probably dead to rights right there. Let's make another Sheo. Gosh darn it. Alright, everybody. 4th and final opponent of the day. The last chance at romance. Alright, what do we have in our hand here? I can make this work. As long as 7th attacking goes off, I should be relatively okay. I can get my caster going, get things rolling. We'll ditch back the OG embodiment of a Poopus, and we'll go from there. Let's go for our Constellar boys and do as they want to do. We're just going to start swarming board, hitting on my opponent with all these big nasty things, and I don't know what they're going to do about it. Probably nothing. So let's get our boy Caduceus, as we like to do. I have Altera if I need him in the backup department. And we should be pretty set for an opening, but I also have a Poopuses, so that's great. I love to see it. You like to see it? I love to see it. So, there we go. I will say, I do like this new Constellars. I still wish that this also counted as a Satellarknight, but I guess that would have been maybe a little bit too strong. Hard to say. I'm thinking of how I can abuse this. I think I can. Let me think, because then I can summon one from the hand. It's always a timing thing with some of these dudes, is the problem. Let's see. Normal special on a monster. Alright, let's go ahead for my boy. There you go. Caduceus. Yep, and we'll use Caduceus' effect. We're going to go ahead and banish. Let's see, who do we want? We want to banish somebody to get another body on the board. So in this particular instance, we're going to banish a copy of Vega. And we'll detach our Caduceus to do this. That way we can bring out Altair. Yeah, and if there was a Satellarknight, there's at least a 50-50 chance that would have gotten me something. At least a 50-50. But let's go ahead for my boy Deltros, the Chumba. We're going to use Deltros' effect. Let's see. No! Big Rock! Me don't like Big Rock. Big Rock mean. Also, weird defense values. I don't like it. Okay. I can make this work still, I think. Let's activate a Constellar Teller. And we're going to revive my boy Altair, because he did not use his effect yet. So we'll bring back the boy, and he will get us another card. And we get back our Sigian. Or Signian. Or however you want to pronounce his name. Either way, I'm thinking how I want to go about this. So if we go into Balthamus, activate Constellar Teller to transform Balthamus into... I could go for Pleiades. I could go for Diamondo, but that's kind of like... Pleiades is probably the smartest thing. It's just too early for Ptolemy. I could go for M7, but that would be kind of a pointless endeavor. So I'm going to go off on a limb and say we go into Pleiades, which I could use now. Probably smart to just do that now, so that he has like a dead weightness. I mean, he's got Discard Father, that is true. But that's about all he's going to get. So we'll set a couple of cards. And I really wish this was turn 2 right now, because that would have been great. But we'll see where this goes. We will see where it shall go. Go forth, my snake. Go forth, giant snake man. Get me a poopus. I'm glad I thought I clicked the wrong Apopus right there. That would have been bad. Either way, we got ourselves we have our thing here. We got the very interrupty sort of, ooh, Shiranoots. Alright, so 90% probability this is some form of zombies. Which means it's definitely going to be Una Zombo. So I'm going to immediately bounce that, because I know how potent this is. Now, if he has something to stop this, he has something to stop this. But I'm prepared for that, thanks to my snake. Now, we're going to play the snake that we already searched, so he doesn't know that I have another snake. Very important. And now I just have like a whole buttload of monsters on the board, and that's like an OTK right there. So unless this dude has backup to this, we're pretty much game right now. Yeah, there you go. There we go. See, there's the reason we have the snakes. The Snakes of Light, like that one card nobody plays. I think his name is Light Serpent or something. Either way, let's go ahead for the end screen. We'll talk more about this deck here. Alrighty, everybody. So the new Stellar Constellars did pretty darn good today. We got 3 out of 4 wins, which is absolutely... That's pretty good. That's pretty darn good for this deck. I mean, it's a new archetypal support thing. You never know how it's going to go. But I'd say they did pretty gosh darn good. You know, we were able to swarm the board with our level 4s, get out our big Exceed monsters, and, you know, we actually go up, rank up, do all the good things. We summoned out the new Omega 7, absolute unit of a boss monster. We summoned out most everything. We got, let's see, Teller Diamond Dragon with Balthamus. We summoned Caduceus. We didn't get to go for Trivor. It's probably my one peeve is we didn't get to do, like, the Trivor thing where I can balance everything on the board, which is really potent. And it's a lot easier thanks to Signian, you know, that you can just summon this thing out. So, we got to do like 95% of what this deck wants to do. We got to summon out the Omega, we summoned out the Dragon and the Dragon, we summoned out Pleiades, Balthamus, Deltros. We didn't get summoned out the original Deltros, sadly, but he's more of a... He's more of a dude that you would want to start the turnout with, but because of how we play with this deck, you know, you rarely do that, but we have him just in case. We have him just in case. So we did get the Omega flops, but, you know, that's more of a That's more of a cheeky deck there. So I'm happy with how this deck turned out. I really did enjoy it. I think it worked pretty gosh darn well. Okay. So I hope you guys at home enjoyed it as well. If you did, don't forget to smack that like button and help us channel out with them some scribbles if you happen to be new, because we're still trying to get to 1,000. And I've gained everybody since the last time I lost a bunch of subs. So I'm happy with that. We're back on our feet, boys. We're back on our feet and ever and upwards, up into the future. So here is the deck profile for anyone who's curious what we're playing today. Again, link in the description is our Discord. You'll find the WireK file there if you want to hard download it to your yugioh Pro, which there's also instructions there how to do that. So for our main deck, we have 1 copy of Satellarknight Ukulele Man. We have 2 copies of Satellarknight Altair, 2 copies of Satellarknight Alterain, 3 copies of Constellar Pollux, 3 copies of the new Constellar Caster, 2 copies of Constellar Caduceus, and 1 copy of Constellar Sombre. We have 3 copies of our Tellarknight Signian, 2 copies of Satellarknight Vega, 3 copies of Tellarknight Lyran, 3 copies of the 7th Tachyon. We have our 1 triple Talents, our Foolish Burial, our Monster Reborn. We have 2 copies of Satellarknight Skybridge, 1 Call of Grave, 3 copies of Constellatella, a very sweet continuous spell. We have 1 copy of the original embodiment of Apupus, 2 copies of the Apupus of the Swamp Deity, and 3 copies of Apupus of the Snake. As for our extra deck, we have things like our 1 Little Knight and our 1 Infinite Track Fortress Megaclops, which will rarely make this guy, but it's really, really cool when we do. We have 1 copy of Satellarknight Tribber, 2 copies of Tellarknight Constellar Caduceus. We have our 1/102 Star Surf Seraph, which we mostly use for 7th, but you can still make the darn thing if you want to. Oh, I should have put in rank up Magic the 7th one too. That would have been cool. Missed opportunities. Anyway. We have things like Tellarknight Deltaros. We also have Tellarknight Constellar Deltaros, the new guy, 2 of him. 1 copy of Dark Tellarknight Balthamus. 1 copy of Constellar Pleiades, the OG boss. We have Tellarknight Constellar Diamundo. 1 Ptolemy M7 Constellar, the original dragon. As well as now 2 copies of X-Tellarknight Constellar Ptolemy Omega 7, who's just a really big honking dude. As for our side deck, a lot of little text here and there, a lot of little things. There are pendulum scales for Tellarknights you would rarely ever use because they don't do anything really, but they do have the effect of popping stuff. If your opponent happens to have things to big pop where they get normal flip pendulum summon, you can target your Tellarknights, pop cards of your opponents, what have you may. Not that important, but it is an option. We have other Tellarknights, of course. You have Sirius if you want to recover cards, which honestly, with Omega 7 now, you're never going to want to play this, but it's an option if you find you need it. There's things like Alsham if you want to burn strat with your Satellarknights. You just summon it, you burn your opponent for 1,000. There you go. If you want to play a hand trap, but don't want to be one of those dudes who just plays Ash Blossom, Full Charmies, things of that nature, go with the OG Honest. Your opponent will never see it coming. You also have things like Sakatama, which just gives you a hard extra normal summon of a it's a spirit from the hand, so you need 1 more Sakatamas. But it's a nice engine if you just do more rank 4s. But, you know, it's more of a flavor thing. It's more of style points than anything else. Now, you can also run things like Cyber Dragon Nova in this deck and go into Infinity. It's not that hard to do, especially with Signian. And that is an option. You know, some decks will play that, some don't. I decided to just go with, like, the new stuff more than anything else. But making Infinity is not a bad choice. It is certainly a big honking monster. Negation of the wazoo, steal your opponent's stuff, all the good stuff. Now, if your Nova gets destroyed, you get a free fusion monster. I recommend Barbaroid, the ultimate battle machine, because he's really big and tough. We also have things like this other Constellar, Exceed monsters you don't play as often. But Constellar Omega can make it so that all your Constellars are unaffected by spell traps for a turn. This will protect things like Tellarknight Constellar. It'll protect things like, your Ptolemy Omega 7 if he happens to get negated for some reason, or you don't have all the names in the graveyard, for example. You can protect your dudes from spell traps. You also have the Ptolemias, which can skip your opponent's turn if you detach 7 materials from the darn thing, which is hard to do, but it's possible to do. There's also Hippo-Shuningen, which I like as another potential link just to make your monster a little bit bigger, which I took out for another Omega 7. But if you want to figure a way to get this guy in here, if you don't want to play Little Knight, for example, go right ahead. Hippo-Shuningen. He's got some cool boots. There's also more Skybridge if you feel like you need another Skybridge just to cheat out more monsters out of the deck. Constellar Star Chart is a once per turn draw you a card if you summon out a Constellar Exceed, which 2 of our main play starters happen to, where is he? Yeah, Caduceus and Deltros happen to be. And lastly, we have Stellar Nova Alpha, which is the counter trap of Satellarknights, which can negate spell traps or monsters. You do have to ditch a monster you control the graveyard, but that can be very useful as well. So that's the whole deck, everybody. I hope you very much enjoyed it. Next time, we have another deck for my Discord. I gotta go into Overdrive because I got so many decks piling up at this point. But we're taking a look at, let's see. That's not the deck I was looking for. Where did it go? Yes, we're taking a look at a deck that was sent to us on pretty much pure Cosmos, but with an Exceed Flare, so that's going to be interesting. So, without further ado, folks, thanks very much for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Till next time, y'all stay safe and stay happy, and y'all have a good one. Stay cool, fam.